Hey, Hound Dogs, I'm David Hankins,
I'm Paul Hankins.
and welcome to a special edition of A Week in Power Squared, our weekly look at what we hope is everyone's favorite comic book, Power Squared.
Yes.
This week we thought we'd talk about the coronavirus and the effect it's having on the comic book industry.
Yeah.
We were prompted for this by a story in the Hollywood Reporter on Friday
Yes.
called
A moment we have been dreading, coronavirus lands Thanos-sized punch on comic book shops. It was written by Boris Kitt and Graham McMillan.
Right.
And they talked to different comic book shops about the impact that this has been happening on their business.
Right. And it is, rather devastating, or it can be.
Yeah.
Especially for the smaller stores and the ones that are just sort of, I'm sure there's not a huge margin of profit to be made on for a lot of stores.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're limiting, I don't know how they're staying open in a way, because it's not really an essential, like grocery stores and hospitals and
Right. Well, that's what the
pharmacy.
article is talking about.
Right.
So the owner of Collector's Paradise at Greenberg said, "We have been selling comics for close to 26 years now, and this is truly the first time that we are uncertain about the future of our store, our industry, and our favorite art form," which in many ways summed up the precarious state of the comic book retail business.
Right. A lot of them are having to find unique ways of getting their product, getting what they have out to the consumer.
Yeah.
There's curbside service and there's delivery and mail order, but the actual going into a comic book store is not happening,
Yeah.
and it's all because of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
And without the shops, then that does kind of hurt the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
Right.
So this goes on to say, even before the coronavirus pandemic, comic shops have been struggling to reinvent themselves as sales slumped. But with social distancing, self-quarantine, and the effects of COVID-19, the specialty comic book market is facing something that could, without an appropriate response, prove decimating to the industry as a whole.
Right.
Comic book shops are already in the process of adapting. Golden Apple has limited its hours with the staff wearing gloves and sometimes masks, and has limited the amount of people let into the store, but the shelter-in-place thing has put a damper on everything.
Right.
This is that Brian Hibbs, the comic book retailer, said, "I sent an email to my top 5 suppliers asking if they're going to be offering returnability on the other end of this. He has 3 weeks of orders in the pipeline and zero ability to sell those books in a meaningful way. 2 of the retailers ignored him, and the other 2 gave really dark answers. And Image is the only one who said that they were returnable for now."
Right. And then you're also having impact on, I guess, a lot of the majors are either stopping new releases, or they're staggering them, or they're trying to take this into account.
Yeah.
So you're going to see probably fewer new releases anyway, and then it's going to be harder to be able to obtain them.
Yeah.
So it is a very touchy situation for a lot of people in the industry,
Yeah.
because it can impact not only the retailers, but the distributor and the producers and artists and writers and all that.
Yeah.
So it's huge.
Free Comic Book Day was also indefinitely postponed.
Right.
Because, of course, there's going to be a lot of people in the store. Diamond has told retailers those affected by shelter-in-place orders can place their accounts on hold, effectively shutting down business until further notice.
Okay, so I'll ask the question: what can your average consumer do if they want to get comic books?
Well, there are retailers that will do online orders, so you can order physical copies that way. But there's also digital distribution through places like Comixology and Kindle.
Right.
Although it's not really a perfect solution, and retailers are worried that their bottom line is just going to be affected in the long run, no matter what measures they take.
Right. So if you can support your local comic book store, we would encourage you to do that. But there may be ways that you can't. Some of them may just go out of business.
Yeah.
And that's going to affect all of us. I mean, we have one really locally.
Yeah.
And you hope they could make it, but there's really no guarantee of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question is, how does it affect Power Squared?
It's kind of tricky right now.
Yeah.
This year was going to be like our year, as we stated in previous videos. We were going to do more signings and go to conventions. We can't really do that right now.
Right.
I mean, maybe in the summer We might be able to squeeze in something because they'll probably the coronavirus will pass for like at least temporarily, but then in the winter it'll likely come back,
Right.
and we'll have to deal with this again.
Right. So, and you don't know if, I mean, WonderCon got postponed. I don't know if Comic-Con, it depends how bad it is. And I know that's in the end of July, but it could also get affected too. The silver lining for us is that we're not in any sort of store.
Yeah.
We're, digitally through Comixology and Indie Planet, and we're print on demand through Artist American and Indie Planet. So our product is still available as always, and we still plan to keep producing it.
Yeah.
But our goal would be we want to be in a comic book store.
Yeah.
And we want people to be able to go in there and see us on the rack next to whatever.
Yeah.
And that's really, that it's sort of very, very disappointing for us as creators, because it is a sort of a very uncertain future.
Yeah.
There's really nothing like a printed comic book. I mean, digital is nice, and it's helpful for us that we are on those platforms.
Yeah.
But everybody wants a printed comic book, and the future of us being in a store is somewhat up in the air. As is we were supposed to be part of a Canon printer promotion. If no one's working in offices, I don't think that's going to be going through either.
Yeah.
So we had such high hopes for 2020, and they've sort of not. I wouldn't say they're crushed, but it's been disappointing so far.
Yeah.
And we were going to have a signing that had to be postponed, and the future is very uncertain.
Yeah.
Though we will still be putting out Power Squared, and we do encourage you to purchase them if you're interested in learning more about the reason we do these videos.
Yeah.
And they're available at powersquaredcomicbook.com/shop, and they're available on different platforms. And we are actually trying to move to be available on Kindle as well.
Yeah.
Just to give everybody another opportunity, another platform to purchase us.
Yeah.
Nothing against, and we were going to do that regardless of what happens with the stores.
Yeah.
Because we're not in a store, we're just trying to find as many outlets as we can.
Yeah.
And we hope that people will follow our comic book, and there's a lot of others out there besides the majors that are worth following and reading, and we hope that people will to take advantage of the platforms that are available to do that.
I think depending on how long this quarantine lasts, we may have to mix things up on our channel just to keep things interesting.
Right.
And keep you out there entertained. And of course ourselves as well.
Right.
We'll still update you on the progress of Power Squared, either through here or through our podcast.
Yes. So we do this video once a week. We also do a podcast called On the Air with Power Squared, which is available on Podbean and Apple Podcasts. And we also Twitch stream the recording of that every Friday. So that's also available at twitch.tv/Power
Squared.
Right.
If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, ring the notification bell if you want to see exactly when these go up. Sharing and commenting also help with channel growth. Right.
And we if you have questions that you want to ask us about Power Squared, we will be happy to answer them. You can write to us at info@powersquaredcomicbook.com. That email address is available on our website, and we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
So until next week, I'm David Hankins.
I'm Paul Hankins.
And this has been a week in Power Squared.